Vamin!
Oh, Liv, and your, Right, Liv and her date. What are you two doing out here? The weather report just blasted an alert. That hurricane that was supposed to hit Venquist until the day after tomorrow, it's almost here.
A hurricane?
Yes, a big one. You should get back now. I'll be fine. I'm heading to a windmill tower in a minute.
Miss Vamin, before you go, I wanted to ask you about this. Do you remember this fairy tale book?
Ah, I do. Right before the punishing outbreak, I was just a starving artist, paying the bills by illustrating other people's stories. Work was so hard to find back then. I was lucky to have even one client. I remember every drawing I made and every story that went with them.
Then, do you remember one called The Maiden of Eden? If you do, please, you have to tell me how it ends. It's important to me. What happened to the little gray raven and the maiden?
I think I might have forgotten. Come on, let's go. We need to find shelter now or we're going to be drenched.
Then what about the author? Do you remember her? She shared my name. Liv. Maybe she wrote something else. Anything at all, if you know.
She only wrote this one book. The Maiden of Eden was her last story. It was never even published.
So you do know it. Please. What happened to the little gray raven and the maiden? After the winds grew stronger and the air turned cold.
What if it doesn't have a happy ending? The little gray raven and the maiden, holding each other against the windstorm. Maybe that's not such a bad place to stop.
Even so, I still want to know what happened next.
The original manuscript is in the church, at the top of the windmill tower.
The windmill tower? You mean the one right next to us?
Yes, she used to go there all the time, for inspiration and to pray for her daughter. Antonia would be so happy to see you home. I held you once when you were just a little thing.
author. She was...
Your mother, Antonia. Tillman Cottages Live was her pen name. It's a phrase. It means something. Tillman Cottages Live. It means, to my dearest Liv. Every story she wrote was a gift for you, Liv.
The wind grew bitter and sharp. Searching for a way to leave this world, the little gray raven soared through the sky. One by one, silver snowflakes drifted down and settled upon its feathers. Winter had come, as it always did. The little gray raven flew back to the maiden's side, only to find her collapsed on the frozen ground. "Don't worry, I'm just a little sleepy," the maiden whispered to the little gray raven. A soft light glowed around her, and she was becoming like morning mist, clear and fading. If she did not leave this place soon, she would disappear forever. Stay. It's so cold here. Stay by my side.
But that was exactly why the little gray raven had to go. It had to find the way back home. Back to the warm world from which it came, and return to bring her with it. So, once more it lifted its wings. This time, it flew higher than it ever had before. The air grew thin and colder. The wind screamed and tugged at its wings. The beautiful gray feathers the girl had given it were slowly being painted white by the snow. With every beat of its wings, the little raven felt it was flying toward death. Even so, it stubbornly continued flying. It flew because only up here could it find the path that led away, the path that could save her. At last, it burst through the clouds and found itself among the stars. Looking down, the little gray raven finally saw this world as it truly was. "What is this?" it asked the twinkling stars around it. As it turned out, the place it had shared with the maiden was not the earth at all. It was her garden, a floating Eden high above the true continent. All wounded creatures were sent to Eden to heal. Once recovered, the maiden returned them to the mortal world. She was a deity of this realm, an angel to all living things. Yet, with every soul she mended, Eden ascended higher, climbing into storm-lashed skies where the cold rivaled the heart of winter. This was the price she had to pay. The maiden was destined to remain alone, drifting ever farther from the mortal world she loved. Yet, she never minded, her gaze forever fixed on the world below with tender longing.
Though with that resolve, the little gray raven began its helpless fall. The flight had consumed its last ounce of strength, its very life force. It dissolved into scraps of torn paper, scattering into the cold, raging winds. This is the final story?
No.
What did you say?
This isn't the final story. But it's too late. Bilibili. It's so dark here. I can't see anything. Bilibili, tell me.
What is it?
Tell me how the story ends.
I don't know.
Tell me, where did the little gray raven go? Tell me, the maiden in the story, my child, my Liv. Did she find happiness in the end?
I don't know. Right. You've probably figured out by now that it's a story based on Liv. But I couldn't give her an answer. I don't know how her story should end. That day, she asked me to leave her manuscript at the Windmill Church, right here. It was her final prayer for Liv.